Good morning. All right, so we're all just waiting for us to bomb Iran into oblivion. We have enough military assets to totally wipe them off the face of the earth. It's the only way to put it. We have as much military assets as we did back in the 90s, taking out Iraq. So there's that. And it's going to get very interesting next week. When? Who knows? But the Iranian regime, they don't listen. They're not listening to Trump. They're not listening to the main concerns, and they're just trying to buy time, and it's very obvious. So him attacking Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, you never know. He's unpredictable. Uh, it's very likely. The Chinese running interference with the Russians, trying to give them satellite data, just proving that there are enemies. Okay, and the Russians running drills. Yeah, doesn't really matter. We're going to smoke Iran anyway, and you could, be as threatened or whatever you want. The simple fact is this: is that your kids are all in the West. Mostly the military and political leaders in Russia, bizarrely enough, have their children in London and America and everywhere but Russia. Isn't that funny? Um, so much for how great Russia is, huh? So you have that, and it's going to be an interesting and hectic week, more than likely. But all the assets are in place, and we're just waiting to hear the kabooms and to basically take out the Iranian regime once and for all. Anyway, enjoy this week's video. Here we go. Okay, we have both an interesting and boring chart at the same time. It's interesting mainly because of the geopolitical stuff that's going on with Iran. We're likely going to be bombing them next week, and it's like, but it's with Trump, so you never really know. He's not exactly predictable in how he responds, but they have pushed his buttons a little bit too far, like before. I think it's almost inevitable. And Monday, Tuesday, everybody's predicting. So he'll probably do it on Wednesday or Sunday. You never know. You also have his tariffs being struck down by the Supreme Court, of which he comes back and he puts on new mechanisms to keep those tariffs in place because he doesn't agree with them. And he doesn't agree. He is little Hitler, and he'll do what he wants and get what he wants because he's always right. And that's the way things work now. We've got our own dictator in the United States. Anyway, so there's that going on. And the charts themselves do not look that interesting outside of silver. Silver is the one that has the movement. You can see the diamond-like pattern that I pointed out. It elongated, and also looks like the inverse head and shoulders. You can view it that way as well. And here's the neckline break. And where we end up here next week is going to be what we're going to be focused on, or at least I am. My Zcash, we can go back to that. I took my profits on this already. It's already traded all the way down to the 240. So it went under here where it found support originally, spiked back up, and then traded even down to this area down here. Where could it go from here? It could go all the way down to the 220s from here. This was a great trade when I was a buyer at these levels and sold it above at the 330s, that 333 area about. That was a perfect trade. The short that I got on it as well wound up being a very good trade too, but I'm not going to push my luck on this anymore. I've done very well with it, so I'm going to let Zcash just float, and I'll look for other opportunities. I did add, from the money that I made from that, more Zcash I bought it when we went back to the $2 range right down here. You know this is my favorite trade. And in the future, I'm going to be looking for numbers that go up to here and even higher, up to here. And I've got so many magnets that could pull this higher, it's not even funny. And it's going to be it's going to be very interesting. I remember having trades like XRP in the 40-cent range and then it going all the way up to a few dollars. This is of the same ilk, in my view. It's just that nobody's paying attention. And it's cycling out. It's distributed as much as it can. And at some point, it's going to have to make that upside move. And those shorts are going to have to cover. They're pushing their luck right here. And I think they're going to start to really see that. And it's going to cause a volume reversal. And one of the ways I can look at that and see it is I can put it here. Let's put it on a 4-hour. We spread this out a bit. We can go over and just draw a trend line right from the tops of the volume. Boom, boom, boom. And you can see right here breaking above it. It's ready, and then it's consolidated over here to become very tight from these high to lows. This whole zone. That was your bigger move, and this is your tighter move right here. So it's fully consolidated. You're just waiting for the pure, true volume reversal, and we're kind of getting that. And yeah, looks great. So MetaPlanet, my favorite. Beyond that, Bitcoin, you know where I stand with Bitcoin. I'm looking for us to go down to that 64, even down to the 61.8 off of the 5 waves. I've mentioned this week after week, so if it's repetitive, I apologize. But you know what you're looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 61.8 at that 58K. But inside that, you also have the here, pull this up. You also have the little butterfly, which would also pull it back down. And you know what that target is, right in the 64K area, right down here. From up here, makes sense. So just waiting for that to occur. Outside of that, everything is very ho-hum. It's kind of dull, just the price action across the board. I guess everybody is just holding their breath because of, was Trump going to attack Iran, which more than likely he will be. So we're all just waiting. We're all just waiting for what he does, I guess you can say. So that's kind of putting a kibosh on any other, everything across the board. It's just there's not much trading. It's just, it's frozen in place, I guess you can say. Oil is staying in the mid 60. This should have already dropped back to the 50s, but it's not going to do that because of the fact of what's going on with Iran. They're really not going to do anything that Trump says, and they're just trying to buy time. It's the fireworks should probably start early next week or midweek, or we'll see. You never know with Trump, but it doesn't look good for Iran unless they go over and do something. He's gonna, we'll see. He's talking about limited strikes or extensive ones. He's got a military armada of the likes we have not seen since we took out Iraq back in the day. What does he need all that hardware there to try to scare them into a deal? They're ready to go to God, and I think you're going to have to send them there because they don't seem to want to budge. and false bravado like Maduro, how that worked for him. Uh, it's going to have the same effect on the Ayatollah and his friends. And they're in a very weakened position, by the way. So it does not look good for them. But anyway, that's it. Nothing else interesting on the charts. Everything is just frozen in place, and everybody's holding their breath, waiting for the Iran action or whatever happens. We will see. Anyway, until next week, I am signing off, and I will see you then.